Hello, people. I want to speak to you about the assassination of Charles Kirk. In particular, I would like to investigate the motivation. Why this fact happened. Charles Kirk is an American conservative political activist, author, and media personality. He co-founded the student organization Turning Point USA, TPUSA, in some years ago, and was its executive director. He was the chief executive officer and a member of the Council for National Policy. In his later years, he was one of the most prominent voices of the populist MAGA, with the acronym of Movement of the Republican Party, Make America Great Again, MAGA. Well, today we see on social networks and also in places designated for the administration of the state of justice, we see some shocking expressions of tremendous hatred towards those who do not think like you. This happens all over the world. Whether in Argentina, Venezuela, or throughout the European Union, where there are some these politicians of this kind, these foolish people. In this case, they are manifestation of the human soul. Why? How they can make some manifestations? I think that's ignorance of ethics and history, and irrational, articulated mainly with irrationality, independent of any knowledge of reality and logic. I'm not here to list some of these foolishnesses. I give you only one example of the supremely idiotic left-wing idea of the happy degrowth of the economy. I will not analyze this, but this obviously surreal. Given the increase in people's life expectancy, and therefore the number of people who must be supported in general in the ever-increasing weight of the welfare, how you can imagine such an idiotic left-wing idea only from a crass and profound ignorance or from a nihilistic, we can such a donkey. Such a donkey. More poor donkey. On the other hand, there are also those ideologies that go against the nature of the man. Nature of man, and violate his fundamental freedoms. First of all, the right to the pursuit of the happiness. Well, militant communist atheism is against nature. It does not understand a human being because it deprives him of the spirit by reducing, deprives the man of the spirit by reducing it to pure matter. And is opposite the vital processes of man freedom. The man freedom processes, they understand them as an attack to the philosophical essence of their historical justification. The elephantine monument to the idiocy. a systematic contradiction which will seek to impose itself on the world. How you can see, one like me that follows the politics and the talk shows about politics, you can see if you follow them, for example, when a dialogue, one of them opposes some deed of murders committed in the last century against political opponents. In Italy, many young people were killed by communists, personally. Generally, the militant communist turns reality, reverse reality, by setting the misdeed of others, things that may not be on the subject, or even deny them, attributing to others. In fact, as Lenin teaches, everyone should know who is Lenin. Lenin teaches that the lie in the mouth of the communist is a revolutionary truth. Every communist in the world has taken literally this expression. This is the new version of the Machiavellian, the scope justifies the means. The human beings got a capacity by God that we call consciousness, that is the conscience. Conscience is the ability to distinguish between good and evil, and they of the left wing generally do not have conscience, do not have it. The conscience is one of the deepest and most mysterious qualities of the human being, that indicates the ability to be aware of oneself, one's emotions, thoughts and actions in relationships. The conscience is the inner place in you where the dialogue begins, how feelings and action take place the dialogue between our feelings and actions. The conscience is the voice that guides you, challenges us, and judges you. Conscience is what makes moral reflection possible. It allows to distinguish between what we perceive is right or wrong, good or bad. Today, in the social media, we see people with insults, wishes you a cancer, and writes everything of incredible things. No, so those people has no conscience. This is why you can find one fool who kills people, innocent people like Kirk. They fought. They have not conscience. Communists have no conscience. In every manifestation they see. Well, I hope that illustrates enough the situation.